My name is Jim Cotton. Lots of film. Well, if you really want to know what the history of swim, just go to the Waikiki Rough Water Swim website and push the history button, because it's much too much. We consider our swim, the three patron saints are Duke Kahanamoku, who had the Waikiki Swimming Club when he was here, and was one of the first Hawaiians to go to the Olympics, the first Hawaiian. Our other patron saints are Alexander Hume Ford, who had founded the the Outrigger Canoe Club, and the third one is Mrs. Ellen Fullard Leo. So I started to swim in 1970 because I was raised in La Jolla, where we had the La Jolla Rough Water Swim ever since 1960. That swim has since become more of just an ordinary swim meet. Well, this swim here has become a huge community event. It is the nicest swim in the world. Now, what does nice mean? Well, it's a nice place, and everybody who thinks they can swim can enter. There's no restrictions. We are for competitive swimmers, we're for recreational swimmers, we're for slow swimmers, and it's growing and growing. We're up to nearly 900 again after we lost some entry when all the triathlons came along, but this swim is now becoming more and more famous. It's a glamorous swim. It's a community swim. People come from all over the swim community and the Hawaiian community. Most of the swimmers will be Hawaiians, residents of Hawaii or actual Hawaiians. So.
Some people I've heard have their favorite years. Do you have any favorite years for the swim? Ones that just stand out, that it's like, man, this was the best swim ever? Or just your ones where you had the most memorable moments?
Well, I remember the first swim as being the most memorable because there was just 36 of us. We didn't have the permission of the hotel at that time, so we swam ashore anyway, and we had some interesting conversations with the management, and by the next year they were on our side and they gave us a suite of rooms to celebrate in, which we used for a number of years after that. Now we celebrate over in the park. But the first year we just swam with one little one-man canoe, and 36 of us swam for the whole course and crawled up here on the edge of like drowned rats, and the tourists were all sitting there with their beach chairs right up with their feet in the water nearly, so we were crowded on the beach like refugees. And so hard to forget that swim. But it was first and it grew. The second year was 100, next year was 200, 300, went on up to 1,350, starting at one time. And that is like a salmon run. It's just solid white water for several acres. And that's another thing that's so unique about this swim, is it's just one swim. You don't have a bunch of little swims like they now have mostly everywhere else. So one distance, and you start at 4 waves, but everybody's in the water and it's just one swim. It gets put back together by the computer as if you were all in the same start. So it's a wonderful swim. It's a colorful place. It's well run because over these 40 years, each new director has added improvements. And in my time it was very primitive, but now it's really runs like a Swiss watch. And I think it's a privilege just to swim in it.
We heard there was almost 300 volunteers total that worked together to put it on, and then almost 75 on the water.
Right, and that was.
I don't know the numbers, but it takes a huge number of people because of all the risks nowadays, and permits and all that. There's mechanical boats, motor boats, jet skis, paddle boards, outrigger canoes, everything out there. And there's the people that set up the course. And that's a hard job because you got to get it in the right place. The wind's out there, the chop, and then there's all kinds of paperwork, there's award ceremonies. It's a well-run swim, and it's more or less everybody's favorite open water swim as far as I know. I've seen people from New York and Virginia Beach and everywhere that my dream is to go to the Waikiki Rough Water Swim.
It's the glamour swim.
It's the glamour swim, good word.
Okay, and I'll bring it with myself.
Well, that's about all I know, but if you really want to know the details, tune into Waikiki Rough Water Swim History. That's on the Waikiki Rough Water Swim website.